Welcome to the 2020 Monster Jam Season Kickoff Show. I'm Scott Jordan, and tonight we answer your questions. Social media has been buzzing all weekend long. We have exciting news about the season ahead, including long-awaited details about Monster Jam World Finals 21. Now, tickets do go on sale for our 2020 events tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. local time for preferred customers only. If you're not a Fel Preferred member, all you have to do is go right here to monsterjam.com and sign up. It is absolutely free, and then you can go ahead and purchase your tickets at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's the 17th at local time. Also, for general public, tickets will go on sale on the 24th, so 1 week from tomorrow for general public. But go ahead and make sure you stick around to monsterjam.com and become a preferred member and get your tickets tomorrow morning. In just a little while, I will be joined by my co-hosts of Monster Jam on NBCSN, Gray Clips Mohawk Warrior driver Bryce and Grave Diggers Morgan Kane, as we will take you through the events, through the tours, and you'll find out what cities Monster Jam is coming to in 2020 and where your favorite driver athletes will end up. This is what you've been waiting for. This is our season kickoff show, and this is Monster Jam. One of the biggest questions I saw on social media this weekend were a lot of you fans asking about new Monster Jam trucks or new Monster Jam drivers. Well, as far as the Monster Jam trucks are concerned, I am happy to announce that a new stunt truck will debut at Monster Jam World Finals 21 with an encore performance. For you zombie fans out there in Zombie Nation, look for a zombie invasion after World Finals, where only 2 of the following trucks will become temporary members of Team Zombie and join your Zombie Nation. Speaking of Zombie Nation, there will be a fleet of Spin Master Zombie Monster Jam trucks available exclusively at Walmart starting in the fall of 2020. And finally, stay tuned to our social media and right here at monsterjam.com for one more new truck to debut early next year. Now let's talk about new drivers. Monster Jam continues to focus on the development of new driver athletes using Monster Jam University, powered by UNOH. It is a state-of-the-art facility that we provide for training. You can expect to see some of our newest athletes in competition very soon. And speaking of athletes, it's my pleasure to welcome in Bryce and Morgan Kane. Gentlemen, the band is back together again. The last time we were together was at Monster Jam World Finals 20, and now we are essentially paving the path to Monster Jam World Finals 21. Talk about Monster Jam University, powered by UNOH.
Well, I think the best thing about this program is that we have the chance now to be able to control the controllables. We're able to develop these drivers to the top of their ability and make sure that we're putting the best show on for the fans.
Well, it's a really difficult program to go through. I mean, you and I played at Campbell University, Division I soccer. We understand how to play at a very high level. And I don't know about you, I can't speak for you, but when I went through Monster Jam University, it was physically taxing, but it was mentally taxing as well, and it prepares you for the upcoming season.
I definitely think it's more of a mental mindset that you have to develop at Monster Jam University, powered by UNOH. And if they can use it to their advantage, I think it'll help put them on top on their tours.
Absolutely.
In 2020, Monster Jam is proud to debut a new system to track performance. Of course, I'm talking about power rankings. Each and every week, we will rank the top performers. It's going to be statistic based on performance as far as measuring index goes, and it'll be updated each and every Wednesday beginning January of 2020. You can also watch for preseason rankings beginning in December. But gentlemen, a lot to look forward to, a lot on the line when it comes to power rankings. What would it mean to each one of you to be ranked #1 in the world?
Well, I think anytime you start off a season, you're going to care about where you're sitting because you're going to work all season long to make sure that you're increasing that number. You want to make sure that you're getting as close to 1 as possible. But I also think it's going to put a little pressure on all of us because I know if I'm 13 racing against number 3, I want to take out number 3. And so to me, I think it's going to probably add a few more butterflies.
Yeah, I definitely think the pressure comes from the higher seed. But with that higher seed, you got to make sure that, you have stuff to lose. But everybody that's down in the double digits, they don't have anything to lose, and they're coming for you.
It's going to be fun to watch the fans, too, either agree or disagree with those rankings and trying to figure out where they not only just came from and the statistics that support that, but also just figuring out, hey, who am I going to root for this week? That could change who people go into the weekend cheering for.
Fans, before we start the tour announcements, just a reminder, tickets do go on sale tomorrow for preferred customers. That's Tuesday the 17th. If you're not a preferred customer, you'll just have to wait 1 week till Tuesday the 24th when they go on sale for the general public. You can sign up right after this show right here at monsterjam.com to become a preferred customer. It's absolutely free, and get a head start in getting your tickets for Monster Jam events in 2020. Each champion of these tours does secure an automatic bid to Monster Jam World Finals 21. So a lot on the line. You want to get that bid, get that trophy, and win that championship. We're going to start with the Triple Threat Series, an exciting part of Monster Jam. Now, the track for 2020 is slightly different. It's going to be the same track in all Triple Threat Series competition, and one new element is the inclusion of a backflip obstacle. So you take this exciting event, which is the Triple Threat Series, and you add backflips, and the fans are in for something special. Now, Bryce and Morgan, you guys both know how difficult it is to compete in the Triple Threat Series. You see the nuances of this track, but talk about the inclusion of the backflip.
Well, I really think that the fans, they absolutely love backflips. And I really feel like in an arena with the Triple Threat Series, you're going to be able to get that up close and personal action with the drivers. You get the reactions from the drivers that will hopefully increase those scores from the fans.
Well, it's amazing for the fans because there's not a bad seat in the house now. And so for all the fans to experience that, the drivers are going to have to watch their momentum, their speed, the flow of their freestyle, because they can't go and hit that backflip obstacle every time they turn the corner either. So they're going to have to manage that a little bit.
Almost like the 8-pack backflip in the stadiums. Now you have that obstacle going to add to an already exciting Triple Threat Series. This is Triple Threat Series East. Let's take a look at the arenas that we're going to, the cities we're going to go to as we kick it off January 11th in Greensboro, North Carolina at the Greensboro Coliseum. Then we take it down to Baltimore, Maryland, Royal Farms Arena. A lot of Carolinas in this. Bryce and Morgan, I know that's your home state, so you know these arenas very well. But now that we've seen the dates and the cities, let's go ahead and meet the driver athletes competing on the Triple Threat Series East.
Well, what a fantastic lineup we have. I mean, these are great athletes. They're ready to compete at a top level. But the number one thing that I think we can focus on is that this is the shortest tour of all the Monster Jam tours. So this means that there are not as many points to win. So they have to be on their A game every weekend.
Well, I'm looking at the lineup, and you're looking at a Blake Granger and Max D going up against his wife, Kayla Blood. And so, but then Armando Castro, he's been performing extremely well the last 12 months or so. I think he's on top of his game also. And to your point, there's not as many points to grab, so they've got to be as efficient as they can.
Gentlemen, you mentioned Kayla Blood and Blake Granger. You talked about that husband and wife battle. I know you two are very big family men. You are loving husbands. But imagine facing off with your wives and racing or freestyle. Could you actually compete in Monster Jam against your spouse?
No. It would be fun. I mean, what a fun experience. But Mackenzie knows how competitive I am mentally. And I would imagine she'd probably let me win just so it doesn't, we don't not speak for the next 7 nights or something like that.
I don't think Kayla would stand a chance. I compete in everything that I do, and truly I wouldn't hold back. It doesn't matter if it's my wife or some random fan. I'm going to do the best that I can to come out on top.
We know that you're just going to do exactly what Kayla tells you to do, let's be honest.
Well, I might end up cooking dinner, but it is what it is. I'm still going to win.
Let's go ahead and move out west with the Triple Threat Series West. Take a look at our events coming next year. We begin at the Vivint Smart Home Arena January 3rd in Salt Lake City, Utah, and we go all the way down to Columbus, Ohio, April 18th and 19th. One event I am looking forward to is Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, January 25th. It is the first time ever for the Triple Threat Series in Winnipeg. Let's go ahead and take a look at the athletes competing on the Triple Threat Series West.
I'm really excited about this lineup. I think it's got all of the ingredients for seasoned veterans to go out there and put on amazing events every single day. And so, but I'm going to be watching Elvis Linez. I think that the fact that he gets to sit back and kind of watch all of these seasoned veterans go out there and perform at such a high level, he's going to learn a lot. And that's a very powerful position to be in as a Monster Jam driver, to make sure that everyone else is elevating your game. And I think if we're watching Elvis over the next couple months, or really the next 12 months or so, I bet he's going to be one of the most improved drivers across the sport.
I agree. There's a couple things that I'd like to focus on, especially with this tour. There are 2 stops that are full stadium floors, and that's going to give the drivers a little bit of a chance to kind of stretch their legs, get a little bit out of their comfort zone to help develop some skills to bring back to the arenas. But really, I feel like this tour is going to be won and lost in the 2-wheel competition. You've got some great drivers that are able to really throw it up there. I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Well, Tony Oaks in Soldier of Fortune Black Ops, he's had a lot of overall event championships. And so I just bet that there's not going to be a clear front runner off of this tour. I bet the leader, whoever's in the first place leaving each weekend, I've got this suspicion it's probably going to change every single week.
You mentioned some interesting names on this tour. Barry Musauer, going to be interesting to see what he does without Tyler Menninger, Colton Eichelberger in front of him. But we have Gravediggers Brandon Vincent, Earthshakers Tristan England, 2 former Triple Threat Series champions competing on the same tour. Does being a former champion have an advantage, give these driver athletes an advantage coming in to the Triple Threat Series West?
I think it's a huge advantage. You know, you want to be a sponge as a younger driver. You want to make sure that you're soaking up all the information that you can to help learn. But truly, I feel like Brandon and Tristan are kind of, men above boys. I think they're really going to walk away with this, and I disagree with you. I think it's going to be them 2, and they're going to run away with it.
Well, I think it's going to be fun to watch the confidence build in each one of them, but this is also a group that loves to compete against each other as well. So, even though I can't call a front runner with that, I definitely think because the previous Tour of Champions have been in that position, I think if it comes down to it, that final weekend, if they're battling for points, it's going to be really fun to watch.
And finally, we go to the Triple Threat Series Central. Let's take a look at those dates. We kick it off in beautiful downtown Nashville, Tennessee at the Bridgestone Arena, January 4th and 5th. We take it all the way down to Rosemont, Illinois at the Allstate Arena. Hamilton, Ontario is on there. I'm looking forward to that show. But a lot of big cities, big arenas, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. This is going to be a great one. Let's meet the driver athletes of the Triple Threat Series Central.
One athlete I'd like to focus on is definitely Justin Sipes. I know he's been putting in a lot of the work in the offseason, racing dirt bikes, and to make sure that he's in the peak shape to be able to compete this year.
Well, it's such a competitive environment. I mean, to look at across the table here and to see Matt Cody in Blue Thunder, who is fresh off of a world championship in the Speedster obstacle competition, but Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger, I mean, she has been competing and she has been delivering really in all of her events over the last 7 or 8 months also. And so I'm excited to see kind of who rises to the top out of this group. And if I don't know that I could really pick a clear favorite here. You got to go with Colton Eichelberger and Max D. But I know that even a Mark Listen, El Toro Loco, he's going to be pushing on the door as well.
Guys, I think it's no secret in Monster Jam that nobody likes to lose. We're very prideful here. The driver athlete's very prideful. And a lot is on the line here. So when you look at the lineup here for Triple Threat Series Central, who do you pick out as someone that hates to lose more than anybody else?
Well, I would say Mark Listen, El Toro Loco. I've been on tour with him. He's someone that wins a lot. But when he does lose, I've been in that locker room with him. And he gets very fired up, as most of us do. And you won't see that very often on Mark also. But when I look across that list, he's probably the one that I don't want to see in the locker room if he doesn't come out victorious that day.
Yeah, and I as far as my concern, I would disagree with you on that because I feel like Colton Eichelberger hates to lose. I've been on tour with him 2 years in a row, and he's finished runner-up 5 years in a row. I mean, how would that feel for you? You know, you're in second place, and at the end of the season, it just slips away. I think it's his time to shine this year, but can he get it done?
Our Arena Championship Series will include freestyle motocross in 2020. Fans can enjoy the high-flying spectacle that is FMX. Right now, let's take a look at Arena Championship Series. We kick things off January 4th and 5th at the Legacy Arena in Birmingham, Alabama, and we end April 17th through the 19th at the Landers Center in South Haven, Mississippi. A lot of great cities on this tour as well. Hampton, Virginia's in there, Albany, New York. I'm excited to get it started in Birmingham right now. Let's meet the drivers of the Arena Championship Series.
Well, I think the favorite on this tour has to be Randy Brown in Gravedigger. He's the defending tour champion for this Arena Championship Series. But you have Lindsay Reed, who everyone is anxious to see back behind the wheel of Scooby-Doo because she is the reigning World Finals freestyle champion. So it's going to be exciting to see how she handles that pressure.
Yeah, I think that when we look at the drivers, we have second generation coming in. I think that's exciting for the fans to understand that. You have a father-daughter team with Darren and Kaylin, and then you have Zach Garner which is Jamie Garner's overboard. That's his son. So it's exciting to see them come in, but I do feel that with this being the longest tour, you have that chance to make some mistakes because there can be a little bit of points left on the table because you can pick them up at the end of the season.
Bryce, you mentioned Lindsay Reed, our reigning World Finals freestyle champion. Looking at the cities, you have 13 cities, multiple events, so it's a marathon race to get there. She did it one night in Orlando at World Finals 20. Is she capable of doing it and maintaining that sort of freestyle expectation she has throughout this tour? A lot of pressure on her. Talk about that pressure that Lindsay Reed might be feeling in Scooby-Doo.
Well, heavy is the head that wears the crown, and it's going to be interesting to see how she does handle that pressure. There's absolutely high expectation on Lindsay Reed this season. I think she's up to the task. I know she is. I mean, we've seen amazing moments from her, and we've also seen some moments where she learned a lot, just like the rest of us do anytime we get behind the wheel of a Monster Jam machine. I know that not only is she going to feel the pressure from the fans because that expectation's high, but she will have a target on her back every single event.
I really think that she is that type of driver that doesn't let any pressure bother her. You know, as you could see at the World Finals, I mean, she went in there and took care of business. You know, so I feel that she is that type of driver that lives in the moment, and she's going to do well this season.
Before we get to our stadium tours, just want to remind you once again, you can sign up right after this show here at monsterjam.com to be a preferred customer. If you do that, you can get on-sale tickets beginning tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. local time. Exciting news about Monster Jam World Finals 21 still lies ahead. And something new in 2020 at our stadium events, drivers will now have the option of performing either one donut or get 2 attempts at showing two-wheel skills. This competition will also rely on you. Their fate will still be in your hands with scoring at judgeszone.com. New in 2020, each Stadium Championship Series will have a track exclusive to that tour. So we begin with Stadium Championship Series Red, and let's take a look at our track map for this tour. It is the very popular POD style racing. We've seen that in the past in some of our summer shows. Now it will be exclusive to Stadium Championship Series Red. You'll get to see them line up on different sides of the track, still side by side, and go round and round till we crown a racing winner. And for more on this tour, let's take a look at the schedule for Stadium Championship Series Red. We begin January 11th in Anaheim, California. Angels Stadium, always a great place to see Monster Jam. And we'll take that all the way down to Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Some great buildings on here. We return home to Tampa, Florida at Raymond James Stadium February 1st. Let's go ahead and meet the drivers of Stadium Championship Series Red.
Well, I may be biased, even though I see a familiar face on this tour, but I think this is the tour to be on. There's not an easy competitor on this list. It's fun to look at the fact I'm going to be able to go back and learn from an Adam Anderson and Gravedigger again and Todd Leduc and Monster Energy, but both of those are defending tour champions. So I expect some pretty intense moments between them, but I'm also very excited about Colvinard and Black Pearl because he had so many wow moments last year that showed up all over social media. That walk the plank backflip move that he kind of tried to create and did create, and now all of us are trying to mimic it. It's really fun to watch that evolution, but I expect a lot of innovation, new moves, and some huge moments coming out of this tour next year.
Yeah, I definitely think that freestyle is going to be the event to watch. I definitely feel that this is a solid group that can put on a heck of a show. But there are 2 drivers that I'd like to focus on. That's Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. He's obviously a tour champion, like you said. He's going to be hard to beat. But then there's a dark horse, Brian Wright. I think Brian is going to be able to bring it this season. He got a little taste of the winner's circle last season, and I really think that if he's able to elevate his freestyle game, maybe throw a backflip in here or there, I think he can come out on top.
I mean, I'm noticing you didn't mention the Mohawk guy. I'm a tad bit offended by that. I just want you to at least acknowledge that, you know, hey, I'm in the running.
You're in my top 5. You're my top 5.
Good. At least I made that. I'd expect maybe top 3 from you, but we'll see. Your tour's coming up.
You guys are 1 and 1A in my preseason rankings. I'll just leave that there. Should be noted about this series, 4 2-day events. So stamina could come into play. Of course, the condition of the Monster Jam trucks could come into play. That brings me to Todd Leduc, guys. Todd is very notorious for being confident, having sort of a psychological power, playing some games. We saw it this past season. He brought that big number 1 out to Miami when he took over the points lead. We talked to John Zimmer about it, wasn't happy. But what kind of psyche does Todd Leduc have with other drivers when it comes to all these antics and the fact that he likes to just kind of prey on that?
Well, I don't think it's any secret that Todd Leduc is Todd Leduc's #1 fan. And I think he wants to let everyone know that and all the other drivers at least know that when he hits the track, he's confident in his abilities, he's confident in his truck, and he's there to win. Now, I love his antics just because it does rile a lot of the drivers up. Some of the drivers are out there and they say, oh, you know, we just kind of ignore Todd and don't pay attention to that. That's not true, because I can just about guarantee that everyone knows their win-loss record against someone like Todd, because no one likes to lose against him.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that that's that monster energy personality, and Todd is a racer at heart. He wants to win everything, and he wants to put it out there. You know, but for me, if I'm going to a show, there's two things I want to accomplish. I want to win the show, and if I can't get that done, I'm going to try and beat Todd.
Well, he talks a lot of trash, but last year he backed it up, so you've got to respect that aspect of it.
And I'm sure if he stands atop the preseason rankings, he will bring that number 1 back to Anaheim at Angel Stadium. Let's go ahead and take a look at the track map for our second stadium tour. It is Stadium Championship Series Green. This racetrack going to be a little different. It is a crazy 8 format, so you have 2 big figure 8s in there. It's going to be a lot more difficult than just going round and round in a Chicago style or POD style. Rear steer is going to come into effect. Mechanical issues are going to come into effect. So a lot of twists and turns will make this tour very, very interesting. Right now, let's take a look at the dates for Stadium Championship Series Green. We kick it off January 11th at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. And we take it all the way down to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Lincoln Financial Field. Some interesting cities on here, a bunch of Florida dates, 2 dates in Anaheim, California, Angel Stadium. Let's take a look at the drivers who will compete in Stadium Championship Series Green.
One thing we definitely like to focus on is this new track. You know, the new track is something that fans have not seen before. I think it's going to be different for drivers. Lane choice, I don't think, is going to make such a big issue because you're turning left and you're turning right. So I think it's going to be exciting for us to make sure that we put a great show on, but we also want to win. So this is what I like to call Paradise Tour. 3 shows in Florida, 3 shows in California, but rain might play an issue, you know, so we have to watch that.
Well, to think about Ryan Anderson, the son of a digger, and not talk about freestyle being the biggest aspect of this tour would be crazy to me. Because this guy is arguably the best driver in the sport right now. It is probably his championship to potentially lose if he goes out there and he is consistent with that. But then to have a Neil Elliott in Max D, and in my opinion, Neil's biggest strength is his consistency. He's an amazing driver. He pulls off those wow moments and the things that the fans like to see. He gets the Max D fans out of their seats every single show. But he is someone that is so consistent every time he stomps on that throttle.
And I think that consistency comes from his off-season training. You know, he's a barrel racer here in Florida. He's been a Florida champion in the Masters division. So it's great to see that he is doing that off-season training, and it might help his decision-making, maybe some reaction time, but regardless, he's putting in the time.
Well, there is this Gravedigger driver on this tour as well. I guess I'll say that you should finish top 5 is my preseason prediction. In all seriousness, it's going to be really interesting to see how you go up and battle all of these amazing athletes. It's going to be really fun to watch.
Morgan, you were one of multiple World Finals champions on this tour. Taking a look at it, it is stacked from top to bottom. Besides the World Finals champions, you have former Rookies of the Year, Rising Stars. Anybody can win any given night. So what's it going to take to win the tour? Is it consistency or that wow factor? We know drivers that can put it in each and every night. We also know there's just that one moment, and sometimes that's all it takes to win a championship.
Well, I really think that you can blend those 2 moments. You know, you have the wow factors and you have the consistency, you know, but can you be consistent every weekend, you know, and put that wow factor on there for judges to be able to give you a good score. But every point's going to matter, you know, so it might not just be freestyle. It could be 2-wheel, it could be racing. You know, you got to make sure that you're consistent across the board, and that's what's going to get it done.
Well, I would imagine there's going to be tons of wow factors that do come out of this group, but absolutely it comes down to consistency. It's not really the wow factor in my opinion. It comes down to who is the most consistent on every single competition. And that's where I go back to Neil Elliott, because I've not seen very many people be more consistent than Neil Elliott. And so if he can go out there and take out a Ryan Anderson, the son of a digger, or even maybe a Morgan Kane and Gravedigger, it'll be really interesting to see if he can make that happen.
We've come to our final stadium tour. Let's take a look at the track map for Stadium Championship Series Yellow. By popular demand, Chicago-style racing will be the racing track format for this tour. They will go round and round and round. It'll be the only racetrack where they don't line up side by side. So going to be interesting to bring the Chicago-style racing back all year long on this tour. Let's take a look at the cities on Stadium Championship Series Yellow. We conclude in Denver at Bronco Stadium at Mile High. Again, we go to Angel Stadium in Anaheim, and a track I love that's always fun in the rain is Petco Park in San Diego, California. So let's take a look at the driver athletes who will be competing on the Chicago-style racing track of Stadium Championship Series Yellow.
This is a great group of drivers that might not necessarily be, the event might not be won in freestyle. You know, I think it could be more of a racer's show, where in that event, you're trying to win all these points. Yes, freestyle is going to matter, but racing in two-wheel might matter more.
Well, and looking at Tom Mintz and Max D, don't tell him that he's not going to come out there and dominate in freestyle. But Scott Buteau and El Toro Loco Ice, I mean, the fact that he was able to pull off the stuff he did all of this last season in 2019, I got to watch it firsthand. I think this could be Scott Buteau's breakout year when it comes to chasing a Tour championship.
Let's look at Camden Murphy here in this lineup. Remember back to World Finals 20, he was on the podium quite a bit during both days at Camping World Stadium. It's just his second year on a stadium tour. He's fast, man. Boy, is he fast, and he can lay it down in freestyle. So is this the year? Is it possible that Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid can win a stadium championship series on just his second year on a stadium tour?
Well, I 100% agree that I think Camden Murphy can make this happen because he's been putting in the off-season work, racing NASCAR, making sure that he stays focused as far as behind the wheel. But, I mean, it doesn't even start at the World Finals. It starts before that. You know, the guy is so fast on the track, and he has a heck of a two-wheel skill. He can moonwalk it all the way across the place, bring that wow factor in freestyle. I think he's the total package.
I think he can win a championship. I don't think this is going to be the year he does it. And it's no reflection even on Camden. It's just a reflection on the people like a Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can never not include him in a championship discussion. And to watch someone like Camden Murphy, it's almost a little bit aggravating that he's picked up this driving skill set as quickly as he has.
But he's a racer. He's a racer.
He is. It's in his blood, and you can tell. Anytime you hear that throttle hit from Camden Murphy, it's just a little bit of a different sound. And as a competitor, I hate it. But as a fan of the sport and watching it evolve, and someone that came out of Monster Jam University, powered by UNOH, the fact that he's done all of this stuff, he's a very, very healthy element to our sport.
Should be noted that on this series, the team captains of Team Fire, Team Ice at the Monster Jam All-Star Challenge in October will be driving the respective Monster Jam trucks. Tom Mintz in Max D Fire, Scott Buteau, El Toro Loco Ice, and they'll be driving all the way from January 1st through Monster Jam World Finals to coincide with the debut of all new Fire and Ice trucks exclusively at Walmart. Fans, if you haven't seen your event listed yet, no fear, Monster Jam will have these additional dates in 2020 where top athletes will still compete for event points. This is the big league of monster trucks, and we'll be bringing the biggest and best Monster Jam trucks and superstars to your town in 2020. For more information, you can stay right here at monsterjam.com and join us for any one of these great events. Fans around the world will see top Monster Jam drivers all throughout 2020. More dates are being announced for next year ahead as Monster Jam's global reach extends in more places than ever before. The champions of the tours we've announced tonight will receive an automatic bid to Monster Jam World Finals 21 in Orlando, but something new in 2020 is an additional invitation that will be offered. For the first time ever, an internationally born driver who does not compete in the U.S. or Canada will receive an invitation to Monster Jam World Finals. And the cool thing about this is that the road to World Finals 21 for these international superstars has in essence already begun, as all events since Monster Jam World Finals 20 last May and all remaining events will be considered. An announcement will be made in early 2020, but this is incredible. And Morgan, you have a lot of international experience. You've competed in Monster Jam events all over the world. Talk about this 8th invitation that will be offered to Monster Jam World Finals 21.
Well, I truly think this is exciting because it's really opening up the factor of it is a world championship. You know, you've got contenders like Peter Nyman. You've got another contender, Alex Danielson. I've had the chance to compete with them for the past 2 seasons internationally, and you know the future is bright for international drivers.
The time has come to reveal when Monster Jam World Finals 21 will take place. Of course, it returns to Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida, but for the first time ever, the dates are going to be on a Saturday and Sunday. That's May 2nd and May 3rd in Orlando. Gold package sales will start tomorrow. Now, that's only if you purchase a gold package in 2019. Feld preferred customers can begin buying their tickets on September 24th. And don't forget, if you're not a Feld preferred customer, you can still be one right after this show by signing up for free right here at monsterjam.com. The general on-sale date for the public will be October 1st. Now, if you missed it in 2019, you don't want to miss it in 2020. 7 world champions will once again be crowned. And again, it's a Saturday and Sunday this year, making history once again. More details will be available at monsterjam.com. We are less than a month away from the first ever Monster Jam All-Star Challenge. It takes place October 11th and 12th at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. It'll be Team Fire, captained by Tom Meents and Max D. Fire and his 12 incredible superstars, versus Team Ice, captained by Scott Buteau and El Toro Loco Ice and his team of 12. It's a 2-day event. Tickets are still available at monsterjam.com. Bryce Kenny, you are a proud member of Team Fire in the Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior. What are your expectations going into the All-Star Challenge?
I'm really excited about being part of this first All-Star Challenge. I mean, not only is it the inaugural event, but to go out there and compete on a team, that's what gets me really excited, because with an athletic background that I have, that always drove me to be better. It always drove me to perform a little bit higher and to train a little bit harder, because you know every ounce of effort helps Team Fire come out on top. And when I look at Team Fire versus Team Ice, again, maybe I'm biased, but I like Team Fire for this event.
Well, I like how you're talking about the team aspect of things. Everyone has to be firing on all cylinders to be able to put their team ahead. I'm excited to be able to check this event out, and I'm ready to be there and hopefully see you in the winner's circle.
Come on.
The captains have selected their teams. It's Team Fire versus Team Ice. Find out who will prevail in Las Vegas. Our exciting 2019 schedule continues with big events all around the world. Take a look at some of the great events coming to your area. The historic All-State Arena in Rosemont coming up soon. The just-announced Minneapolis, Minnesota show, US Bank Stadium in December. And then we move on internationally beginning October 5th in Melbourne, Australia. And those run all the way through December as well. You can get your tickets right here, as always, at monsterjam.com. Now, if you still didn't see your city on the schedule, don't worry. There are many more dates to come in 2020. For all of that information, you can find it right here at monsterjam.com, or you can sign up to be a preferred customer to be the first to know of any additional dates added for Monster Jam. It has been a dynamic first year for Monster Jam on NBC and NBCSN, and it is my pleasure to bring back my broadcasting team for Monster Jam Television, Grey Clips Mohawk Warriors Bryce Kenny and Gravediggers Morgan Kane. We have a lot more still to come of Monster Jam Television. Up next, it'll be the All-Star Challenge from Las Vegas. That airs November 16th on NBCSN, and we wrap up the year with the 2020 preview show December 28th at 5 o'clock p.m. on NBC. Check your local listings and monsterjam.com for additional airings of Monster Jam Television on NBCSN. It's been an amazing night here for a 2020 season kickoff show. Bryce, I'm sure you're excited about next year.
Absolutely. It is going to be an amazing season.
And Morgan, a lot for you to look forward to as well.
I think there's going to be some great elements, and I'm excited for the new tracks.
Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Just a reminder, tickets do go on sale at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning local time for the event scene on tonight's kickoff show, but you have to be a preferred customer. It is not too late. As soon as we sign up, stick around and sign up to be a preferred customer. Get those tickets tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's been a great night. We'll see you this year as well as next year. For Bryce Kenny and Morgan Kane, I'm Scott Jordan. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's season kickoff show. We look forward to seeing you at one of our great events in 2020. Thank you for watching, and this is Monster Jam!